Alright, so it's been a while since I've had the time and or ambition to do anything with this bad boy right here. So I've been collecting parts and waiting for the ambition. So I guess you call this ambition. That noise has gotten to be too much. Got some rear bearings, wheel bearings here. Gonna be throwing those guys on. I got 4 days off, so I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done. One of which is the rear bearings. Hopefully I got the right ones. This is from a 95 Civic. I believe majority of the trailing arms fit from an 88 to an 01, I believe. But if I remember correctly, the guy I got them from said they were 95 Civics. But then I figured, well, I'm back there. The street sweeper just went by. Might as well swap out the brake pads back there. Haven't been able to fix the oil leak no matter what I do. Engine seems to be running fine. A little bit of a gas smell every once in a while. Not sure exactly what that's coming from, but I have a feeling it could be because I can't quite get this guy to go down all the way. I think I cross-threaded this one, and previous videos you've seen, these are not OEM. These have actually been drilled out and re-tapped. Same thing going on with this one. So I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I rebuilt it. I think I did a pretty good job, but nothing like a professionally rebuilt, machined head. Everything's back to factory standards. So I'll be throwing that on. Like I said, I got a 4-day weekend here, 4th of July. So I got that. I got the head. I have stuff to clean my air filter. So we're going through that. I have a thermal intake manifold. I have an OEM exhaust manifold. I have an OEM head gasket, mainly because I bought that rebuilt kit and it came with enough to do like 4 or 5 different versions of, I gotta wash that off first, 4 or 5 different versions of engines worth of gaskets and whatnot. So nothing is OEM or whatever, and I've tried sticking this in there. I think this is a A6 valve cover gasket that was in there. So I got new gaskets for all that stuff. This guy did come loose recently, just the one side, not the other. That's the first time that's happened since I've reinstalled it with that extra metal plate down there. So there's a little bit of play, so I'll be tightening that. This right here is a backup camera rear view mirror. So I have what did I get? An SD card for that. These are the mounts in case I can't get it to work with mine. I'm going to use this glue to put a new mount on the windshield. And then I will have a backup camera, which I haven't decided whether or not I want to put in the window, or if I want to try and stick it in the trunk or something somewhere. That will replace my regular rear view mirror, which goes into the ceiling. And it's actually a tearaway. You just pull it down to get it off of there. And I don't believe that this camera will fit that. So that's why I got these guys to put on the windshield. Find which one fits best to do that. For as far as rebuilding the head goes, I got a VTEC gasket, solenoid gasket. I got a cam shield. It's OEM. These are valve cover. These guys. This 100 proof. Pretty expensive for these. Hopefully they'll be worth it. OEM valve cover gasket and spark plug tube. yeah, I think that's the haul. I'm definitely gonna want to go through this newspaper. I got this off of eBay. If everything works good and whatnot, I might do a little thank you video or something. Other than that, I did get a couple random things. This is a de-pinning ring set. I think it's a terminal removal tool, and it's got like 150 different ones in there. It was like $14 on Amazon. I was like, whatever, I'll take it. Other than that, I think that might be about it for right now. I'm sure I'll think of some other crap to throw on here or deal with somehow. It's about time I might be looking at some new spark plugs. Might just order those right now and have them here by the time I get to the end of the weekend. We'll see. I got a new spark plug cap and rotor a couple times, so I'm good on that. But yeah, better. All right. Whew. Oh, that's a little better. All right. Now that I got my lens clean, I want to get these rear axles, bearings, rear wheel bearings going. It's been a while since I've rotated the tires, so I think before I get it up off the ground, I'm going to go around and loosen all the lug nuts and get it up in the air and go from there. Alright, got my tires off, car's up off the ground. Those are loose, but not off yet. I'm waiting on those. Just popping this hubcaps real quick. Gonna get that axle nut while the brake is still engaging. And then once I get that loose, then I will be taking the calipers off, etc., etc. Yeah, it's a little dirty. It's cleaned up. A little better, not much. Well, it came off a lot easier than I thought it would. This one was just a couple of pushes with the old bar here. And this one over here, I had to step on it a little bit to get it to come off, but I think that was mainly because the dude punctured that move thing into the groove so deep. Alright, next up, taking the calipers off. Alright, so I got off the brake caliper here. Before I go any further, I wanted to make sure that this was indeed the right size. Bolt patterns match up. Same thickness, same depth. I think we're good to go. Continue on getting the old bearing off here. Alright, so I threw my puller on there, jerked it real quick. Of course, as expected, the inner bearing stuck with it. So I kind of counted on that. Gonna play around with a little bit of tools here and see if I can't just pry it off real quick. Hopefully it's not gonna be a crazy headache as far as cutting it off. So wish me luck. Wow, that came off really easy. I literally just put this in there and gave it a little twist and it just slid right off of there. So I'm gonna do a little more finagling with it and just pop it right off. I've got quite a bit. Literally just pop right off. It's awesome. Well, I got it off. Seemed to I grabbed the big pry bar and then it moved forward another inch and then it stopped. So I broke this guy out, put it around it, just tugged on it. That was that. Came right off. Alright. I'm gonna clean this guy up and maybe hit it with some 2000 grit. Get it nice and smooth. Alright, wiped it off pretty good and I'm gonna hit it up. Got some 1000 grit sandpaper. First thing I found, so I'm gonna clean it up. I was also looking at this guy right here. How nice and dirty that is. So I want to make sure I get all this caliper nice and cleaned up. Maybe I can reach. Also the wheel well. You know, it's been all winter since I washed this thing, so. Alright, good lord, that thing just slides right on there. I don't want it to fly off, but you can see it just nice and fit. I'm just gonna clean this guy off before I stick it back in there. Just goes right on like that, and then the axle nut. As it's back in, these nuts are so old and gross. I've got a couple of brand new ones I've never used, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw those on there. That way it'll be nicer. This one isn't brand new, but it's a hell of a lot better than the other one. This one is brand Brand new. So on she goes. Alright, I got this one off. Came off just as easy, a little easier in fact. I didn't have to use the big black part, but this one's a little dirty as well, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this guy up and do the same thing I did to the other side. It's a little sandpaper. Alright, so after fighting the caliper, using my tool to get back as far as I could, over and over and over again, taking it on and putting it off like 5-6 times. I could not get, as soon as I would put this on and tighten it down, this would not move at all. And what's going on was when I pushed this in down here, it would complete the tightness and I could not get it to move. I tightened it all down, threw that tire on, and it was all the force I had. I could not get it to turn. So I said screw it and put my other brake pads, the last ones I put on there about 6 months ago, just put them right back on there. Figure maybe when the disc rotors get a little more worn down, maybe I can use those, have them for backups in the future. But other than that, yeah, this guy's all back on there, good to go, and I'm ready to finish up the other side. As you can see on this side, I already have the wheel bearing on. Feels good. No noise, unlike the other ones. So now I'm just going to push this caliper piston, or piston caliper rather, back in. Just no light. And yeah, I'm going to push that guy in. There's a little before I clean it and shove it back in there.
We saw a deep racialization of the welfare system, as well as growing stigma and social.
Alright, got my turn down the old NPR there. I got my oil and coolant have been drained, so now just moving right along with the changing of the head. See what time it is. Don't want to tell me none. It is 3:42. I finally got done with that. I don't know what time I started that. I've kind of just been lazy about it. It reminds me I have to fix this fan. I keep forgetting about that. Anyways, eye on the prize. I got the rear wheel bearings in this morning, and now I'm after doing the head. So let's start pulling this stuff apart. You know what I mean. Alright, so I just put a bunch of this premium stripper that I got for something else, but it says it'll do paint, and I put it on before I could even get around. It's already coming off, so let that sit for a little bit. In the meantime, as I also just said, that I got my coolant and shit drained. Got this hood head off. This is garbage. Evergreen rebuild, whatever. Done with that shit. So yeah. Up next, get my oil rags, which are sopping up the lack of protection afforded via the Evergreen rebuild kit. So I'm going to keep working on this for a couple minutes and then get back to that. Probably just going to wipe it clean and let the rags dry and then throw them away. So yeah, alright, moving on. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. Kind of forgot about this guy. See what she looks like here. And it doesn't just come right off. There are a couple coats on there, so I have to actually do a little bit of rubbing, a little scrubbing. I was kind of hoping it would just kind of grind right off, but it kind of does. Yeah, alright. I'm just going to keep doing this till I get it nice and clean. So, yeah, there's your before. Alright, got it nice and cleaned up. Wiped off. There's a couple of spots that didn't quite make all the way through. I'm going to give this another rub down. Just wanted to get cleaned up outside. Get all my stuff aerating before I throw it away. I'm going to hit this up one more time with a dry brush and then a little bit of sandpaper for some of the goofier spots, but I don't really need it to be any kind of perfect Not for what I'm doing. Alright, got it nice and cleaned off, as good as it needs to be. I did the inside pretty good as well. Now it's time for my stuff that I absolutely love. Truck bed coating comes out perfect. That's what I use on the trim. Right there. I've seen it used a bunch of times online, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot on my rig here. Alright, so I did about 4 coats, a little over half a can. I think it went on there really nicely. There's a couple spots where I can actually see where I didn't get the things off there quite right, but the cable should cover most of that, the oil cover lid, so the majority of it looks perfect. Plenty happy with it. Got my little adapter, or my little spark plug wire holder thingamajigger on there. I got this guy in top dead center because I'm about to pull off the belts off of this dude. As you can see, the intake manifold is off, the exhaust manifold is off, head's ready to come off. Alright, so I got the ye old head off. I got some stuff I gotta swap out. This, probably some other crap. Take a quick look at this. It was pretty good. There wasn't any kind of leakage. There was this little speckled spot, so I just grabbed a towel and kind of dabbed them up. But all in all, after a rebuild, it looked pretty darn good. I'm not sure how they're supposed to look after, I don't know, 5,000 miles maybe, somewhere in there. But yeah, so I got that. See, I had some kind of oil getting in the thing. I thought I solved that by putting this filter on the blowback, which is outside. So there. But yeah, anyways, so what time is it? It took me 2 hours to do that, I think. I don't remember. I thought it was like 3:30. Now it's like almost 6. I guess an hour and a half. I've been kind of messing around, taking my sweet time. Got all day tomorrow to put that thing back on, which would be super fun and interesting. I do want to do some cleaning down here. I'm grabbing the flashlight because I can't turn on the... Let's see, it's a little dirty. What do we got? Oh, it's a little guy. It's kind of dirty. I believe that to be one of the spots here. All the oil was flowing down here and going back there and flowing down here, like right down that little hole. So I thought it was coming from right here, but then when I took the head off, it wasn't seeming like anything was really coming out from there. So I couldn't, my whole theory as to why it's leaking on this side was because of that one bolt, but on this side I feel like it's because of these two, and I had to do that here as well, this collar, because they just snapped and there's nothing else I could do. So how's that going? Like I said, I might call it a night. I might continue on for a little bit, do some cleaning up. Sounds like I got a lot of fire trucks coming in. Probably somebody drowning at the park. It's usually why we get a lot of sirens. Yeah, looking good, doing good, feeling good about today. Got my rear bearings replaced, back on there, feeling good about those. Well, I was thinking about the mirror, that thing right there, the rear view mirror. I was thinking about rewiring my back, my rear driver side speaker keeps cutting in and out, so I gotta figure out what's up with that. Do that while I'm doing all my rear view mirror and stuff. So yeah, alright, continuing on, probably tomorrow I'll probably upload this as a part 1. Summer cleaning something, I don't know. It's getting dirty. The other day I came out here, it wouldn't start because that was dirty, and luckily it was just that, and luckily I knew what to do. But you can see here what my fear was I was leaking out by the cam seal there, and you can see down here it has definitely got
quite a bit of oil going on. Sorry if I make you dizzy, but crepes, it almost looks like it was coming out of the, I think it's coming out of this return, something there. I got a whole new gasket set for this thing, so yeah. Alright, well, get to the end of this video, or I might do some more, we'll see.